I give my sword to the one who follows me in my pilgrimage, and my courage and skill to the one who can get it. My marks and scars I carry with me as a witness that I have fought his battles, and now he will be my rewarder. When the day came for him to cross the river, many accompanied him to the river bank. He stepped into the water and said, "O death, where is your sting?" 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 55. And as he went deeper, he said, "O death, where is your victory?" 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 55. So he passed over the river to the sound of trumpets welcoming him to the other side. Then a summons arrived for Mr. Standfast. This is the same Mr. Standfast whom the rest of the pilgrims found praying upon his knees in the enchanted ground. The messenger stood there as Mr. Standfast opened the message and stood reading the contents. The message told him he must prepare for a change of life, for his master was no longer willing for him to serve from so far away. This Mr. Standfast was put into a muse and thought quietly about what the message meant. The messenger said, "You needn't doubt the truth of my message, for here is a token of the truth contained in it. Your wheel is broken at the cistern. Remember him before the silver cord is broken and the golden bowl is crushed. The pitcher by the well is shattered, and the wheel at the cistern is crushed. Then the dust will return to the earth as it was, and the spirit will return to God who gave it." Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verses 6 and 7. Mr. Standfast called to Greatheart, who was their guide, to come near. To him he said, "Sir, although it was not my fortune to be in your good company during most of the days in my pilgrimage, I have to tell you that since I met you, you have been beneficial to me. When I left my home, I left behind a wife and 5 small children. Let me request that when you return, for I know you return to your master's house in hopes that you may conduct more pilgrims as guide, that you send a message to my family and let them know all that has happened and will happen to me. Especially be sure to tell them of my happy arrival to this place, as well as my present and blessed condition. Also, be sure to tell them about Christian and Christiana, his wife, and how she and her children came after her husband. Tell them about her happy end and about where she is now. I have next to nothing to send to my family unless it be prayers and tears for them. You can let them know about that if perhaps they succeed." When Mr. Standfast had set things in order, the time came for him to hurry to the river. When he arrived on the river bank, the water was very calm. So when Mr. Standfast stepped into the water, he stood there for a while and talked with his companions who had accompanied him there. The river has frightened many, and I admit thoughts of it have often frightened me. But now as I stand here, I think about how my feet are standing on the very ground upon which the feet of the priests who carried the Ark of the Covenant stood as Israel crossed through Jordan. And the priests who carried the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord stood firm on dry ground in the middle of the Jordan, while all Israel crossed on dry ground, until all the nation had finished crossing the Jordan. Joshua chapter 3, verse 17. The waters certainly taste bitter and feel cold to the stomach. Yet the thought of what I am going to, and the party that awaits me on the other side, warm my heart like a glowing coal. I see myself at the end of my journey, with my hard days behind me. I am going to see that head which was crowned with thorns, that face which was spit upon for me. Until now I have lived by faith, based on what I've heard. But now where I go, I shall live by sight, and shall be with him in whose company I delight myself. I have loved to hear my Lord spoken of, and wherever I have seen the print of his shoe in the earth, I have longed to follow in his steps too. His name has been as sweet to me as a honey pot, and more fragrant than any perfume. His voice has been pleasing, and I have longed to see his face more than most people desire sunlight. I gathered his words for my food, and for antidotes against my weakness. He has held me and kept me from mine iniquities, and he has strengthened my steps in his way. While he talked about these things, his countenance changed, and he bowed and said, "Take me, for I come to you." And suddenly he could no longer be seen by those standing along this side of the river. Along the opposite bank, it was glorious to see the area filled with horses and chariots, with trumpeters, pipers, singers, and players, strumming stringed instruments to welcome the pilgrims as they went up and followed them in at the beautiful gate of the city. As for Christiana's children, the 4 boys that Christiana brought, with their wives and children, I can't tell you about them in detail, for I didn't stay there. However, since I left that town, I heard someone say that they were still alive and living life for the increase of the church in that place. In the future, if I have the opportunity to go that way again, I may give those who desire it an account of what I haven't mentioned here. In the meantime, I bid my reader farewell. The end.